How do you stay, especially like in this industry, how do you stay there and not like lose your faith, because you get a lot of no's in this industry. Like I think you get more no's, you get acclimated with the no's faster than you get acclimated with the yeses. And a lot of times people will take that no as, oh, okay, well this must not be an opportunity, or this may not be where I need to be. Let me just shift and do something else. Like, is it okay to have a backup plan, or
Should you just put everything you have into what you're trying to pursue?
yeah,
That's your question.
yeah,
I think that is a tricky question, because when you love something and you care about something and you want it to work, you're going to give it everything you have. But at the same time, we're in a world where you have to be realistic, and it can be hard. I know people who throw everything they have into trying to make music work or acting work, and they have to live out of their car. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of a rock and a hard place, because you're deciding between your passion and eating. You know what I mean? If you don't, it's in this industry, it take people 10, 20, 30 years sometimes to finally get what they want out of acting or entertainment industry. And I think it's fair to say that you should have something outside of your passion, though.
yeah.
I think it's fair to, like, if you work, a job or whatever, and then, you still pursuing what you want to do on the side, I think that that's fair.
Do you think that you lose focus and like ambition, like Dayla? If you're working a regular job, let's say, while you're still pursuing modeling or fashion or, whatever that is, do you think because you have to go to work that some of that attention and some of that like aggression and excitement for that thing that you're pursuing fades?
No, wait, what was the question? That was so much. I'm so sorry.
Do you think that when you're working, like for instance, if you have a job, right? If you, let's say, work at Target, right, while you are pursuing your thing that you want to do, does some of that fade, like some of that excitement and some of that zeal? And
I guess, yeah, because you have to work and not put as much time into your passion. So, like she was saying, you have to choose between either your passion or eating, and that's either Target or am I actually out grinding and doing what I got to do? Yeah. That's just like, it's a tough spot to be in. But, I mean, are you willing to wait or, you know?
Yeah, I know when we came out here, people kept saying, yo, it happened really fast for y'all. And it did. We were out here maybe, a month before the girls booked their show. And that's unrealistic, for most people. But that's just a God thing for us. Right. Like God really showed up. But then I heard someone say, yo, like you said, it takes sometimes 20, 30 years. And I just wonder, like, how do you keep your faith? How do you encourage yourself to keep going after you've heard so many no's? Danny, and like you're back in the auditioning thing, like how do you keep your faith when you hear those no's?
I don't know, because it's genuinely so hard.
Get to the mic.
Oh, can I say something?
Yeah.
In entertainment, well, I'll speak for acting, not necessarily music, because you can make music happen for yourself. You could just really like post on TikTok and it can blow up. But with acting, the fate of your career lies at the mercy of strangers. It genuinely is a room full of strangers that watch these self-tapes and they decide if you're good enough to be in this movie or not, or in this show or not. And so when you know that, you're like, these people don't know me. It's not personal. You know what I'm saying? And I once heard another actor say that for every one yes you get, you probably get about 65 no's. And I think that everybody in this industry, or at least people who care about longevity, they know that. And so I think that it's fair to have something that you're doing on the side and make it work while it's trying to work. I think that just comes with the territory. You're not going to audition. Well, y'all did, but most people don't audition and then book something instantly every time. Like, you know what I mean? That's just not how it goes. That just comes with the territory.
What do you think, Russ?
The boy's calling me when I'm not ready to answer.
Oh, okay. Dayla, do you have any more, like...
What do you think?
Well, it's interesting because if we look outside of just this industry, right? And you have a passion for, let's say, doing hair, but you're working also a 9 to 5, or some people going to school. Is that a backup plan? While you're at work, right? I think that it doesn't take my faith out of who God is, right? Because that's the question, like, is it okay to have a backup plan while you pursue, your dream? Because the question is, are you questioning God's ability to do it for you?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, do I really believe that God is going to do this thing for me no matter how long it takes? And we can look at the promises that he made to Abraham and Sarah, right? And it was years.
Know what I think about that, though? I think that it's that same scripture, like faith without works is dead. Just because you getting a job and you're trying to pursue something, sure. But just because you get a job doesn't mean that you don't believe that God is doing it for you. Like God helps those who help themselves. I'm sure you've heard that before. Like, God helps those who help themselves. Like, God is gonna bless you, if you're pursuing something and it's in His will and you're doing the right thing. But I think God also knows that we live in a world where you need money to eat. Yeah, I'm sure that God doesn't want you, at your house just to be, silly. Like, don't be silly. At the end of the day,
I think we should let it be known that we haven't had a backup plan. I was just about to say that. We've been out for 5 years with no backup plan.
And so, just to make this a real life thing, like Dayla said, we don't have a backup plan. Like God is our backup plan. Like, honestly, and if this doesn't work, I just trust that God is going to shift us and make something else shake. Yeah. Like, it's not that I don't agree that you shouldn't go to school, pursue school, or have a job or any of those things. I think what works for you works for you. I just think that we've gotten in a position where we just don't have a backup plan. And I don't even think that was something I planned to do. You know what I mean? It's really, really interesting that you said that, because I realized we don't have a backup plan.
You know what, though?